Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I was inspired to record this video because of a previous video that fellow booktuber Michael S. Deutsch, Mikey D, as I call him, he had done this video in which he talked about a lack of book reviews, or rather, I guess, like somewhat of a lack of book reviews on Booktube. And I gotta say, after I watched that video of his, I found myself agreeing. Not that I don't necessarily believe that there's an actual lack of book reviews on Booktube, but I do feel like there is a slight lack. And not only that, but I've also noticed too, a lot of booktubers, especially those who are much more well known, I guess the ones, the quote unquote popular booktubers. I've noticed that, and much like what Michael talked about, that they've decided to either keep the book reviews to a very bare minimum, or they've decided to just stop with book reviews altogether. And for me, I feel like that's a bad thing. But I mean, I'm not here to say that, I don't believe I have the right to tell anybody how to, run their own channels and all that. But I do want to say that I do feel like book reviews are an important part of Booktube. Definitely. Book reviews are pretty much what first initially got me interested in the Booktube community. And then, of course, I found out about all the other stuff like wrap-ups and TBRs and tag videos. But definitely, again, the first thing that drew me in was the book reviews, and eventually that's when I started writing my own book reviews, and eventually led me to create my own Booktube channel. So yeah, I definitely feel like book reviews need to be a much bigger part of Booktube. But again, that's just my opinion. Of course, having said that, I do feel like eventually, like another thing that Michael talked about in his video, that he said that he believes that book reviews will eventually become a bigger part of the Booktube community. And I guess I kind of, for the most part, I do feel the same way. Except that I don't really feel like, you could place any kind of timetable on such a thing. I think the only way that can happen, or rather one of the main ways to ensure book reviews not only stay a part of the Booktube community, but ultimately become a bigger part of the community, is for more of us booktubers to just do book reviews. Now, I know there's a lot of people who say, by people I do mean fellow booktubers, but also other people who just, watch different videos but don't have their own channels. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So some people, I know there's a lot of people. A decent percentage of people who say that, when you review a book, that you have to follow a certain formula, that you have to ensure that, you get your ideas across as clear and concise as possible in order for everybody to not only watch your book review, but also, at least somewhat comprehend what you're trying to get across, and for me, I feel like, yeah, okay, that makes sense. But I also don't really believe that there is a right or wrong way to review a book. Now, obviously, I know definitely a lot of people will disagree with that. But of course, I mean, I will say, like, if somebody just holds up a book and they say, yeah, this sucks, and then that's it, yeah, to me, that's not really a review. But I mean, at the same time, I wouldn't call it a bad review. I would just say that's just the person's opinion. And if that's how, which is why, I mean, I guess technically that would just be person's opinion on that book, their thoughts on that particular book. But otherwise, if somebody's read a book and then they're talking about it, and you can really tell that, they have a firm understanding of what the book was about. For me, that's a good book review. That is. I mean, I've never been one to complain that, that when somebody reviews a book, where, I'm not going to complain that, well, they didn't go into great detail about the complexities, the inner layers of each character's inner psyche, or, I know, like, some people do like hearing about that kind of stuff when it comes to book reviews. And if you do, hey, that's great. But understand that not every single book review is going to be like that. Not every single book review is going to be the same. I mean, also, too, not every single booktuber is going to be the same, is going to process a story in the same way. Not every single booktuber is going to, or reader, I should say, booktuber and reader, not every single reader is going to interpret different symbolic things in a story in the exact same way. Just like no two people are going to have the same opinions. Therefore, no two readers, booktubers, are going to review the same book in the same way. So that's how I feel. And again, this is just my opinion. If you agree with me or disagree, that's great. We're all entitled to our own opinions. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know what you think about the whole book review thing. If you happen to believe there is such a thing as a good review or bad review. I mean, again, such a thing, I mean, to me, that's purely subjective, I believe. So, but yeah, so having said that, I'm going to provide some links down below to Michael's video in which he talked about this very same thing. And then I'm also going to provide some links to some book reviews of mine that I feel, some people might want to watch or not watch. And granted, of course, I'm not saying that I don't consider myself to be a professional book reviewer. I don't consider every single one of my book reviews to be the absolute best book review out there. No. But I do consider my book reviews to express, the way in which I happen to interpret a story. And I feel like that's all anyone can really ask and or expect from a book review. So, yeah, that'll do it for this video. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff if you feel up to it. And as always, until next time, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.